I love a good soup. I mean, what's not to love? It's hearty, it's nutritious, and more times than not, it's so simple to make. The thing I love most about soup is that it's great the day of, but the longer it sits, the better it tastes. I gotta tell you, my split pea soup is perfect for any occasion. And then when you pair it with this vegan honey butter cornbread, there won't be an unsatisfied soul for miles. And of course, everything we do, you know it's gotta be simple, delicious, easy, and just good food. So let's get started with the cornbread, all right? So my oven's already preheated, 350, 375 degrees. Into a bowl, I'm gonna add in some all-purpose flour. I've also got some granulated sugar, just to give it some sweetness, because you're gonna need that as well, all right? And then also, I've got the cornmeal. So cornmeal, flour, and sugar. Now, because it is vegan, we're gonna need some help in the rise department. So I'm gonna do that by adding in some baking powder, not to be confused with baking soda. Let's put in just a pinch of salt, and I think we're good for all of our dry ingredients. All right, let's give this a stir. All right, now let's add in our vegan butter. All right, and then I've got some buttermilk that I just simply made. You take unflavored almond milk, add a little bit of vinegar, let it sit, and it's gonna turn nice and thick like this. So we're gonna add that buttermilk right into here, and we're gonna give this a stir, just to combine. Into a cast iron skillet, this batter goes. I'm just gonna smooth it out right on top, just to make sure it's nice and even. All right, and there we go. This is gonna be our vegan cornbread batter that's gonna go right off into that oven that's already preheated. All right, so while the cornbread is off in the oven doing its thing, let's just go ahead and make the soup amazing. So I got a really nice heavy bottom Dutch oven here. I'm gonna start by adding in some olive oil. It's already heated. Then, any good soup, you need some flavor agents to get started. So I've got some chopped onion that's gonna go right in here. I've got some diced celery. And then some diced bell pepper. Give that a stir. And I'm gonna add in a little bit of salt and a little bit of pepper to get everything going. All right, so while those vegetables are working out, let's talk about what we've got here. I've got a leek and I've got some garlic. I'm gonna chop off the end and I'm gonna come in here and cut them up. All right, I'm gonna get these leeks right into this water. And then you wanna really slosh it around to make sure you release the sand and the dirt that's trapped in between the layers of the leeks. The leeks are gonna go in here now. They've been cleaned. All of the dirt and the sand fall to the bottom, so it's in the bowl and not in your soup. There we go, that's looking really good. And if the pan gets a little dry, you can just go ahead and add in a little bit more olive oil. All right, and we'll stir, and that's doing really great things. The only other thing our soup needs is some garlic. So I've got a couple of cloves that I'm just gonna smash and get ready to go right into the pot with all the other vegetables. All the garlic right into here. All right, vegetables are cooked down nicely. It's a good time to go ahead and add in our vegetable stock, so I'm gonna do that. Also, let's go ahead and season this up, right? So I've got some fresh herbs. I've got a couple of sprigs of fresh thyme and a couple of sprigs of fresh rosemary that are gonna go right in there. And then we're gonna season up this pot of deliciousness with lots of really great flavors, all right? So we're just gonna intensify that sort of herby flavor with some Italian herbs that are gonna go in here as well, the dry kind. All right, let's beef up on that garlic. You know how we do. with some garlic powder, granulated, of course, is gonna go right in there. Ground thyme, that's gonna go in there. All right, I've also got some ground fennel. You know I love this stuff. And this will be great with the backdrop of the soup. Like you're gonna go, what is that? I'm not really sure what that is. It's ground fennel. I've also got a little bit of ground oregano. And then the last thing I'm gonna put in here is just some heat by way of some red pepper flakes. So there we go. Not for some spice, but just a little bit of personality so you know, oh, okay, that's what's up. And then I've got some peas. Now these are yellow peas, split peas, and green split peas. I've just cooked them off in a little water to get them soft. I'm gonna put these right into our soup. All right, so the soup is cooked up so nicely. Those peas are super tender, those vegetables are tender. So the only thing that we have to do now is just give the whole thing a good blend. So I have my immersion blender, and I'm gonna cut the heat down a little bit and just go in and blend it until it's nice and smooth. This is the time to check and see if you have to add a little bit more salt, a little bit more pepper, whatever you need. Look how smooth this is though. Like it's incredibly just luscious and smooth. This is exactly what we want. It's perfect. I mean, it's literally perfect. That's good. There's a lovely rounding of heat. Everything's nice and seasoned. That's gonna be delicious. All right, so I think our cornbread is done because I could smell it. Come on, cornbread. Come on, cornbread. So that's a vegan cornbread, but we're gonna also make it even more interesting by putting some vegan honey butter right on top. So the vegan honey is made from bee-free, okay? Bee-free honey, and then we've got some vegan butter in here. So I'm just gonna brush it right on top because every cornbread should have honey butter. All right, so the cornbread, nice and glazed, exactly the way cornbread should be. Look, I've got this big old pot of delicious split pea soup, which is ready for complete action. I want you to see just how juicy and thick and lovely this is. Now this is great right now, but of course, the longer this sits, the better it's gonna taste, and you already know that, all right? So I'm gonna get in here and make myself a serving. And I've got just a couple of scallions that I'm just gonna top the soup with, just like this. And I think a nice drizzle of olive oil will be perfect just to finish off our soup. All right, I am actually gonna go in for a taste and see what this soup is talking about. Here we go. It's hot. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you how good this is. Like, this is savory and comforting. You know what it tastes like? A hug, okay? It tastes just like somebody walked up to you and gave you a warm hug. You have to give this recipe a try. I'll post it on the website. You know where it's at. It's gonna be at www.dariuscooks.tv. Listen, there's two things I gotta tell you like I always do, and that's food is my life. Life, it's my food. Until next time with food as delicious as this, I wanna wish you a happy cooking from my heart to yours. Bye, y'all.